Hey everybody, I bought a new tool chest at Costco today. Thought you might be interested in seeing what it's like. I didn't see any reviews on this thing anywhere online. There are some reviews of this brand, but nothing of this actual tool chest. So it looks like a decent quality one. They have one on display at Costco, so I had to look at it pretty thoroughly before I bought one. Anyway, we can get it unloaded, get it in the house, and see what it looks like. Okay, we got it all inside. Gonna get it unpacked. Let's have a quick look at the box first. This is the top cabinet. Again, the brand is Homak. It is Pro Series. I already don't know if that means anything. It is 27 inches, 4 drawer. This is the top chest, and the measurements of that are 26.5 wide, 17 5/8 deep, and 21 3/8 high. And there it again is. So it says 18 inches deep, constructed from 19 gauge steel, 100-pound drawer capacities. It's got a lift latch drawer pulls, so I'll show you those when we get it out of the box. I like those. They catch automatically once you push the drawer closed, and it does have liners included for the drawers, albeit they're not the greatest. It brags about a UV protective finish, ball bearing slides, which most decent drawers have anyway, and capacity of 520 pounds, and a 5-year warranty. So that again, that's the top cabinet part. Let's have a quick look at the bottom. So the dimensions of that are 27 inches wide and 18 inches deep, 38 3/4 inches high. So it is a full 18 inches deep and full 27 inches wide, because the top part of the cabinet's got to sit on top of it, and the lip that you see here and on the front keeps it from sliding off. So, and the stats on that, again, it's 19 gauge steel, 100-pound drawer capacity, and the rest is pretty much it, 520 pounds capacity with a 5-year warranty. Alright, so I'm gonna set the camera up, and we'll start taking it out of the box. Okay, I'm done putting it together. It took a little longer than it should have. This little guy here kept getting in the way. He's a new addition to our family, and as you can see, he requires quite a bit of attention. He'll probably maybe we'll even do a video on him shortly. I wasn't planning on it, but maybe we will. No, that's a good boy. All right, let's have a quick look at the cabinet now that I have it together. We'll look at the features and see if it's any good. I'm going to put our little guy down. His name is Ace. Cool? Alright, I'll put you down. Be good. So I just turned it so it'll be easier to display for you. I also brought out my old toolbox just so I could do some comparison to that. This is pretty much just a standard bottom of the line tool cabinet from Craftsman, and I'll just point out some of the differences why I upgraded to this one. So for starters, this one has a top cabinet with gas props. It holds itself open, and it seems to be a little temperamental, because sometimes it stays closed, other times it won't. But in any event, it'll most likely be left open for me anyway. If I want it to stay closed, I'll just lock it. And speaking of the locks, the top and bottom cabinets have separate keys. They're not keyed the same, which is a little unfortunate. It's not too big of a deal, but the top and bottom have different keys. So, and the locking mechanism for the top is simply when this top is closed, then these drawers won't open. That's how it works. On the bottom, however, so basically on the top, sorry, I'll go back to that, it has a little latch inside of here that flips up and locks into this part of the top cover and keeps it from opening. And once that doesn't open, then these drawers won't open either. They're locked into place. The bottom one, however, let me check it. It seems to have a rod that goes all the way from here to the back of the cabinet and locks the drawers into place that way. Which is not a big deal. It works fine, but I think there is a drawback to that, and I'll get to that in a little bit, why I think it's a drawback. So anyway, top to bottom, the drawers are not all the same size. They look the same. Like the bottom, for instance, the bottom 3 drawers look the same size, and then the top 3 drawers look the same size, which I think they are, but the bottom 3 are not. I'll point out the difference as well. And the top part of the cabinet, again, this is where I'll keep my frequently used items. The cabinet, top and bottom, does come with drawer liners, which most, or at least the cheaper ones, don't come with drawer liners. I find you gotta go buy them, and that's nice, but this liner that they provide, although it keeps your tools from scratching up the paint inside, it doesn't really keep them from sliding around. So when you close the drawer hard, I find all the tools end up in the back of the drawer, which is a bit annoying. So you might, if you're worried about that, you may want to upgrade the liner to something a little stickier. I'll probably do that in the future. We'll see how it plays out. So let's go back to the sizing of the drawers. So if you're interested in a certain amount of tools or fitting certain tools and wondering if they're going to fit, let's take out the measuring tape and see how deep the drawers are. So the top one, about 1 3/4 inches. And I think the second drawer is the same. Not sure if the third one is any different. The third one is the same. The fourth one is a little deeper. Yeah, that shows about 2 inches. So the bottom drawer is a different depth than the other 3 drawers. It's a little deeper. And the bottom part of the cabinet, the top one is 1.5 inches. So that's the same as the top drawers in the top cabinet. Let's go to this bottom one. That's the same. The fourth drawer down is 4.5 inches deep. And this drawer is 4.5 as well. The bottom drawer is a little deeper, which is good. It runs 6 inches. So even though they might look the same at a quick glance, this bottom drawer right here is 6 inches deep. This one and this one are 4.5. So here's the difference that I found from my old cabinet. For one, these are both the same depth. So this one is basically 18 inches deep, as well as this one. It's 18 inches deep. Well, here's the kicker. When I was moving my tools over from my old one to the new one, I found they didn't quite fit. So when I measured it, the drawer is on the new cabinet inside. It's about 14.5 inches And even though the cabinet is the same depth, on the old one, it is 16.5. So that's a full 2 inches deeper on the older cabinet that I have, or the cheaper one, which is quite a lot when you're talking about fitting some tools in there. So the reason why I mentioned that earlier about the locking mechanism, I think that that's the reason why this locking mechanism, there's a rod goes back, and on the back of this cabinet inside, it is keeping those drawers closed when it's locked, and that takes up space in the back of the cabinet. Whereas this one, it's a cheaper locking mechanism. It's basically one of these rods right here. You pull that out and it locks into the front of the cabinet here and on the bottom, which is a bit of a pain in the butt when you're trying to lock your cabinet. But it doesn't take up as much space inside the cabinet, so that is a plus in regards to this. Now, that being said, if you're a mechanic and you need to lock your tools, you can make the choice yourself whether or not you want to use that locking rod on the front, which is the same for the middle cabinet on this one as well. It's got a locking rod right there and on the bottom. The top cabinet works the same as the new one that I have. Once the top part of the cabinet's closed, the drawers lock closed as well. So you'll have to make the choice whether or not you like that or not. I'm not in a predicament where I need to lock my cabinet. It'll be left in my house, so I'm not too worried about that. But if you're in a place where you need to lock your tools up, in a garage or whatnot, other mechanics around or customers coming into your shop and you're worried about your tools, that might be something you'll think of. I know it's a real pain to have to get that rod out and lock those. It's time consuming rather than just take the key and kind of lock those quickly. To walk around a little bit more, those handles on the sides are super solid. There's 6 bolts holding the top ones on, and if this cabinet were full, the top cabinet, I don't think you'd have any trouble lifting it. If you had to, you'd obviously need 2 guys to lift it, but in any event, those handles are super solid. This handle on the side here is also very sturdy. 4 bolts holding it in place, and this is really sturdy. You can probably hang tools on it if you need to in your shop, or if you're worried about moving it around, it's plenty sturdy for that. And if you want to move it to the other side, it's also movable to that side. The bottom, right down bottom here, has caster wheels, and those are, the centers of those are steel with like a plastic resin type of wheel around the outside, and the ones on my old cabinet are basically just solid plastic all the way around. They work pretty much the same thing. There's no plus or minus to either of that, to be honest. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but on the back there's a couple of little brackets that come with it that you can fasten the top cabinet to the bottom cabinet so that it doesn't tip over if your drawers are heavy when you open it up. I'm not too worried about that either, so I'm just going to leave it like that in case I need to move this top cabinet, bring it outside, or if I'm doing work outside. And the one thing I think I forgot is the top has in the back these openings right here that you can put an extension cord or power cord through. I'm going to use it for my charger into the top, and that's on both sides. There's one there and one over there. If you need to put your chargers or whatever, something that requires power inside of your cabinet, you can do that, and then you can even lock it closed while it's in there. So there you have it. That is the Homak 27-inch tool chest from Costco. Hope that helped you. If you were looking for a tool cabinet and you were wondering what this one was like, I hope that helped you out. If it did, give me a thumbs up, or if you found the video interesting, or if it helped you, please give me a thumbs up. I'm not expecting you to subscribe to my channel. If you want to subscribe, great. I appreciate that, but I don't have a whole lot of videos, so. But I would appreciate a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video and you want to give me a thumbs down, hey, it's a free world. You can do that as well, but don't be lazy. Do give me a thumbs down, but give me a comment as well. Tell me why you didn't like the video. Thanks so much.